Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah,
In this
yeah.
story, the fisherman father doesn't really come back, right?
I don't
The
think
son.
so. Yeah, he goes off into the world. As soon as he's born, basically, he becomes a priest. Like that's the way the details in the
Yeah.
story. He's born and then he's a priest, and then he can't be a priest, and so he becomes a cooper, and then he goes on an adventure.
Yeah.
And he's out of the house at that point. So mom and dad are long gone.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's not done with sort of the feminine character of his birth, the mermaid, and he
Hmm.
he has to wrangle with that in all sorts of ways and risk death and being forgotten and all that stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's interesting because you have him. He sort of steps into his power, like we were saying, and then he goes to the ruler archetype to sort of find his match, to find his his missing feminine half. In the platonic sense that we're all sort of looking for that other half, not so much as in a person, but in ourselves. Um, Although we often confuse the two. But so he's sort of trying to grow himself in that way, and it shows him being ready for it because he turns into the falcon or the hawk, whatever one it is, the bird, and he goes into the garden and he's put into a golden cage. And when he turns back into a human, he's dressed royally, he's dressed well. So
Mm,
there's some sort of a recognition of him as like through his skill, he's made his way into the castle. And when he reveals himself in his true form, he is shown to be worthy of the castle. He's not
mm,
in, you would expect somebody who's been wandering and sleeping in inns behind the counter and like uproaring gamblers and stealing their money. Like
mm,
this dude's probably a little raggedy looking.
mm,
But here, when he reveals himself to the princess, he's made ready to marry the princess. And so there's no purification process of him that needs to happen. But there's still this split between like the feminine half that is his wife, that is the princess, and the sort of natural wild feminine of the mermaid, of whatever that deal was.
mm,
Um and to the point where the mermaid gets him because he goes off hunting and is not and does not listen to his wife's premonitions. So she has this intuition. The feminine element has this intuition of
mm,
to be careful, and he says, "No, I'm going to go anyway."
mm,
Um, and and then he's captured by the sort of the mermaid, the sort of I guess the chthonic feminine, the darker under
mm,
nature, kind of drags him down
mm,
under the water. So he's lost under the water, but the bargain is the contract that the father made is now fulfilled, which is
mm,
interesting. So it's not it doesn't necessarily mean that what he did was wrong because in the end they say they were they now that they're free of the mermaid contract, the curse or whatever, they're able to go they can finally get their happily ever after. So he couldn't get it from the church. He couldn't even get it getting married to the princess. He had to at least partially fulfill that contract. He had to connect in some way with this part under the water that he owed a debt to.
yeah.
Even if his wife was telling him, no, no, don't go. It's going to be dangerous. Like he still had to kind of go. I mean, we don't hear much about it, but that sounds like a very Joseph Campbell hero's journey into the underworld kind of a thing. And you come back and you've got the boon for your society, or in the very least, you're freed of your curse.
Yeah, I agree. And also, when he goes off before he's captured by the mermaid in the stream, he also ignores his mother's warning to lifelong warning, which happens in other stories too that are like this. She warns the child not to go to where he's in danger of being captured by the mermaid. So he ignores his current feminine wife and also his past benevolent sort of safety feminine, the mother, to yeah, like you're saying, to go off into the hero's journey down into the depths and everything. And yeah, and then he does get captured.
Yeah, that's interesting. I forgot about that line about his mom, but that makes a lot of sense because if you are like if you are getting in touch with the sort of buried parts of yourself, um, but as a man, if you're getting in touch with the feminine parts of yourself, like you're gonna have to kind of free them from the mother projection. Like you're gonna have to differentiate between the two of those things.
Mm,
Otherwise, you're just gonna constantly be looking for sort of mothering from your partner instead of being kind of equals, you know?
mm.
Um, and
Please like and subscribe for more of our open-minded content, and comment below on your thoughts or questions about the story. Let us know if you'd like us to cover another stimulating story, and thank you for participating.